Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Um, Sorry for being a couple of minutes late. It's 4:05. I really appreciate your patience, but we're going to start right now. Now, what I'm going to be showing you is our exponential price tracker. Um, it's it's really the product of about 4 years of work on an auto trader. It's really like no other automated system that I think that you will have seen. I created it via mathematical modeling. I'm going to show you how it did today on a live chart with the signals that it actually generated, and I think you're going to be very, very impressed with its performance. And now what I want to do is just start with this disclaimer that all signals and trading opportunities that we provide are for educational demonstration purposes only. Everyone should understand that trading involves substantial risk and a person can lose a substantial amount of money. Always carefully consider your financial position prior to trading, and never risk more than you can afford to lose. Now, if you're here today, it's likely that you have a problem making money. And I have 500 traders in my live trading room. Today, I just missed some stellar trades. I had a small red day after I think 11 or 12 green days in a row. So no one trades perfectly. But the problem that most traders have is they lack consistency. And they do that over and over again. Now, I'm just going to close the door to my office. Just hang on one sec. Sorry about that. And that lack of consistency is due to a number of things. The first is that they trade with indicators that lag price. Now, you're going to see that the analysis that we do is based on a multi-time frame analysis so that our indicator analysis leads price. Secondly, you need to have a mathematically proven trade methodology. I'm going to show you our back-tested results, our forward-tested results, and I'm going to show you our results from today. And I'll go back, I can go back a couple of weeks if you'd like. Now, the other thing that our system does is after you get a trade entry, and this is a very, very important component of self-directed auto trading, is that the system allows you to stay in the trade to garner the maximum amount of reward possible. You're not going to get knocked out of the trade early because the trailing stop is very, very unique. I'm going to show you how it works. In fact, the trailing stop in the entry system we have submitted for a patent because it's extremely unique. A fixed trailer will not work, and you subjectively trailing the trade, which obviously in this case you're not going to do, don't work. They don't take into account market structure and a whole bunch of other things. When we subjectively trail a trade, we tend to tighten it as we start to garner rewards, and as we make more and more money, we squeeze the stop, and usually we snuff the trade out, and it can go on for just an enormous additional amount. This system is not going to do that. When it hits an occasional loser, it's going to minimize the amount of money that you lose on every trade. Now, it really took me 8 years of study. I graduated from the University of Pennsylvania with a degree in applied mathematics. I think I had a slide up here with my background, and I don't know if it's still here or not, but it took me those 8 years of work in applied math to allow me to engineer this problem. Now, we call it an exponential price tracker. It is self-directed because you have to turn it on. And it does have an enormous number of inputs on it. A lot of these inputs are all visual, and I'm going to show you those inputs. And what we're going to do as market conditions change, We're going to modify a lot of these inputs so that the system is always trading the type of market that we're presented with. But I believe it's going to radically change your overall performance and grow your trading account. And I'm telling you, it's a system that you've never seen before, like you've never seen before. And a lot of our traders use it every morning, and they create a significant amount of success with it. Now, 95 to 98% of trading systems use the following, and they go bust. You know, price action, MACD, yellow wave, divergence, Gann, Fibonacci. Are all irrelevant derivations. Now, I know there was somebody complaining about lack of sound, but I'm registering full sound here on my system, and I've gotten all green. So I'm just gonna do a check, go into questions. Hey everyone, if you can hear me, let me see. Okay, you're not getting any audio. Hold on. I don't know why that is. Can you hear me now? You have audio now? I'm testing now. Do you have audio? Because I just unplugged and replugged in my my mic. So I'm doing an audio check. If you can hear me, can you just type yes in? There's still no audio? All right, hold on one second. Hey, Sergio? Sergio? Mic is not muted.
There's audio.
Well, everyone in the room is saying no audio.
Oh, there's audio here. You see that?
That's what I'm seeing. Right, started, Sergio?
It seems to me that it was started, but it's now working at least so.
Okay.
Not sure.
All right. All right, can everybody hear me now? If you can hear me, can you please put a yes in? All right, great. Sergio fixed it. I don't know exactly what the problem was, but we're good. Okay, terrific. All right, I'm just going to start over. You didn't miss that much, and we're going to start from the beginning. I appreciate everybody's indulgence and patience. I have no idea why you weren't getting audio, but whatever Sergio did sort of fixed it. Now, what I'm going to be going over with today is our exponential price tracker. Now, it's our self-directed auto trader. We're just rolling it out after 6 weeks of forward testing. And we have a significant amount of back testing. Now, I created it via mathematical modeling, and it is really putting out really nice profit. It made over $2,200 today in the live trading room. Now, I just want to start with this disclaimer that all signals and trading opportunities that we provide are for educational demonstration purposes only. Everyone should understand that trading the markets involves substantial risk, and a trader can lose a substantial amount of money. Always carefully consider your financial position prior to trading and never risk more than you can afford to lose. Now, what I was saying, and I think what is very relevant to all of us, is that if you're here, you either have a problem making money or you would like to make more money. And either one of those I think is good. Now, the problem with trading on your own, I have 500 traders in my live trading room. We trade every morning, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow. I'm very transparent. And in fact, today, simply because I missed a really stellar short trade, we took a small drawdown today. First session in 11 sessions that we took a little bit of a drawdown, but we have tremendous consistency. Last week we made over close to $3,200 in profits, and actually our minimum goal is 1,000. So what a lot of traders do not achieve is that of consistency. Now, one of the reasons that they don't do that is because they trade with indicators that lag price. Now, any indicator that assimilates data from your trading chart is not going to have very much future predictive value. And you're going to see that the core of our system trades with indicators that assimilate data from multiple higher time frames so that they lead price and they validate every entry that the system takes. Now, not only is this system mathematically proven via back testing, but we've also proven it to work by letting it run for quite a number of weeks before we're willing to let it to have it roll out. We've had a few traders use it on beta testing, and they have had wonderful results. Now, the other goal, not only in discretionary trading, which you're going to have the ability to do if you come aboard, is with auto trading, is you want the system, when it gets a great entry, to provide you with the maximum reward possible, and that is riding the trend as far as you possibly can. Now, you're never going to get out at the top, and rarely, actually, this system is going to put you in at the bottom, but you're rarely going to ride it all the way. But what you want to do is you want to garner at least 80% of the move. You want to get the meat of the move. Now, if you trail it on a fixed trailer, which a lot of traders use, that is not going to work. And if you trail it on a discretionary basis, that is going to really blow up, because as the trade begins to accumulate profit, you have this tremendous innate tendency to start pulling that stop tighter and tighter. You want to lock in your profit, and then eventually you're going to snuff out the trade. So you need an objective way to trail the trade, and that is what the system does. And I'm going to show you just how it works. Now, we've patented this entry and trailer system because there's nothing like it out there. And we're going to trail the trade based on momentum. And as long as momentum is present on the trade, you're going to stay in it. And it's going to allow you to after entry, to grab enormous winners. And the system is still going to take you out if the trade should go against us, which I'm going to show you is unusual. But if it does, you're going to wind up losing a minimal amount of money. So it looks to minimize your loss and to maximize your reward as the trade evolves. Now, I don't know if I still have that slide. I think I just took it out. And that's about my background. But I spent 8 years at the University of Pennsylvania, which is an Ivy League university, and I studied applied mathematics. And really what that study did was allow me to optimize the system via the use of mathematical modeling. And we call it our exponential price tracker. It's a self-directed auto trader system. I mean, you have to turn it on. And what we're going to do to keep its trading performance optimal is every month we do we accumulate all the data, and what we do is look at changing market conditions. The same system that does great in a high volatility, high volume market is not going to do that great in a low volume, low volatility market. It's a modular system, so it allows us to change over 150 inputs on the system. And I'm going to show you exactly how that works. This is a system that really that you've never seen before in the past, because although sort of the blockchain of the system is fixed, there's a tremendous number of inputs that we're going to modify as market conditions change. Now, a lot of traders in the room use it every morning. I told you it created $2,200 of profit this morning, and it's really been creating a really nice revenue stream. Now, the things that it does not use are what's been busting out traders in the market for over 100 years. Price action, MACD, Elliott wave divergence, price patterns, Fibonacci, Gann. Now, price action and price patterns have validity, but they do not have the power to create profitability. They have been around forever, and still close to 98% of day and swing traders go broke. I'm going to show you we use a completely different and unique system and sidestep all the stuff that's been around for probably at least a century and probably more than that. Now, what we need the system to do is define when we're in chop. Now, it can't do it on a single time frame. It's got to do it on a multi-time frame basis. And when the market is in chop, the system, will stand down. When big institutional money comes in and sweeps price to the upside, it's going to take us long. And in so doing, it's going to run over a ton of traders caught trading short. And when big institutional money comes in and pushes price to the downside, the system is going to sweep us short, and we're going to run over all the traders caught trading in the counter trend direction. That's how we make money almost every day in the live trading room. I didn't mention I have 500 traders in there. We trade shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow every day. I take every trade. We're also currently in 17 options positions, 5 crypto positions. We're very, very active traders, and I take every trade that I call in Thinkorswim in my real money account. Now, an automated algorithmic system doesn't suffer from overthinking or hesitating or missing a trade. I missed an unbelievable short trade today. We would have finished heavily in the green, probably over $1,000 in the green. Stop placement is precise and predetermined by the system. The targets are predetermined by the system. Like how far that trade is going to go is going to be determined by momentum. There is no second target programmed into the system. So you're not going to be cutting your winners short and letting your losers run. It's going to be just the opposite. Your losers are going to be cut short, and your winners are going to be allowed to evolve to potentially get you a tremendous amount of profit on the trade. And I'm going to show you those on live trades right off of the platform in the system. And so there'll be no more mismanaged trades. And let me tell you, I was so aggravated that I missed that short trade this morning You have no idea. Now, there's, like I said, there are really probably hundreds of auto traders out there, and that you can purchase. If you Google auto trader, you're going to probably come up with 10 pages of systems. Now, many of them work sometimes, but ultimately they begin to fail. And the key is what I alluded to earlier, and that is configurability. No fixed algorithm can adapt to all market conditions. A high volatility, high volume market trades much different than a low volume, low volatility market. Now, this is a dual tier modular system. I'm going to show you the modules, and I'm going to show you how we create differing inputs when market conditions change. Right now, we're in a real high volume, high volatility environment, and that's really a great place to be, because it should allow us to create incredible profit. And you're going to see some amazing trades off that system. And you're going to see of its incredible innate ability to sidestep losers. Now, I want to show you the full system. Now, this is how it looks, and this is what I'm going to be showing you when I bring over a live trade, a live market. Now, actually, I think the market may have closed, but we're going to look at today, and we'll look at yesterday. We can look at the whole week if you like, and we're going to look at every single trade. Now, what I'm going to do is just simply break the system down for you, so you know exactly what's going on when I show it to you. It's not complicated. Now, the first are our exponential moving averages with exponential smoothing. Now, I wasn't happy with the way an exponential moving average moved, nor with the way that a simple moving average moved. So what we did is we created our own unique moving averages. Now, here's our 50, and here is our 15. Now, we call it an exponential times 2, but I think a better descriptive way of describing, well, a better way of describing it is simply an exponential moving average with exponential smoothing. Now, if you want, when I bring over the live platform, I can overlay a 15 EMA over our 15 EMA. We don't call it a 15 EMA, but that's what it is. And you can see you can see that it has the speed of an EMA, but it has tremendous stability, so that it doesn't get jockeyed around by price. Because this is a key moving average, because this is our assessment of momentum. And this is what's going to keep us in these trades as they evolve to the downside. And I'll show you exactly how that works. So our 50 and our 15 are key, and they also define market structure for the auto. When the 50 is red and the 15 is crossed the 50 to the downside, it's only short. When the 50 is green and the 15 is crossed the 50 to the upside, the system is only going to be looking for longs. Now, our VWAP, or our volume weighted average price, is also exceedingly important. Can't trade without it. No professional hedge fund or mutual fund. You know, these hedge funds have all these traders sitting at their desks, all trading. You must have a volume weighted average price. Now, it really is potentially, I've not tested this mathematically, but I believe it's at least as powerful, potentially more than a 50-period moving average. Now, what the VWAP does, it starts tracing out at the start of each session, and it looks at the average close of each candle and associates that close with the amount of volume within that candle. So it's simply a moving average that's also weighted by volume. Now, obviously, a price associated with more volume is given more throw weight than a price associated with little volume. Now, what's really powerful about it is this. First of all, it acts as a very, very important area of support and resistance. And you can see price here gets caught up in it and cannot break it. Secondly, and I'm sure you've heard traders talk about how sometimes they use the 200 period moving average. They may use the 50. It's really, whatever you think. But in order to determine whether the overall market is in bull mode or bear mode, they'll look at the percentage of stocks above the 200 day moving average or below the 200. They can look at the 50, above and below the 50. Well, the VWAP in essence divides the market into two halves. Now, you're much more likely to get a winner when the trade is taken long above the VWAP, and you're much more likely to get a successful short when the trade is taken below the VWAP. Now, that's not a hardcore fast rule. There's a perfect entry that simply doesn't correspond to the VWAP. The system may decide to take it, but generally speaking, the long trades are above the VWAP, the short trades are below the VWAP. Now, pivots obviously are extremely important. Everyone talks about buy-sell imbalances and all these. They give a lot of this stuff fancy names, but that's exactly what a pivot is. A pivot is a zone or a buy-sell imbalance area. Now, when price comes up and turns, that tells you that at this price level or in this price area, there are a significant number of sellers. So we know that when price approaches it again, it's going to act as an area of significant resistance. Now, the system will never take a trade into an unbroken pivot. Now, this system, once the pivot is broken, the pivot stops tracing. Same thing to the downside. Price turns up, it creates the pivot. This is a buy-sell imbalance. This is an area where there's a significant number of buyers, and if price was to come down and approach it again, it would likely bounce. Now, sometimes it breaks, but I've spent 10 years trying to determine when a pivot will break or hold. And there's an old adage: the first time it holds, the second time it's a little more likely to hold, than the third time it's going to break. And let me tell you, that's all a bunch of baloney. You can never determine whether a pivot is going to break or it's going to hold. And I've seen moves on huge volume and tremendous momentum bounce off a pivot like it's a brick wall. So the system is simply programmed to never trade into a pivot. In fact, it's programmed so that it will not trade within a first target of the pivot. So our first target on this system is 20 ticks. So you need 21 ticks between the entry and the pivot before it will trigger a trade. Now, we do have buy-sell imbalance zones, and these are calculated off the higher multiple time frames. Now, these are where there are a tremendous number of sellers. Now, this is an area that's completely separate than the pivots, because you see price go through it, but it doesn't break. And that's because this area is created by the higher multiple time frames. Now, this is not a time frame based chart, and we're not going to trade a time frame based chart, but I'm just using it as an example because I think it's best understood that way. So just because it breaks on your trading chart doesn't mean it's going to actually snap it. It may have to go appreciably higher in order to take out all the sellers in this zone. And again, the system is never going to buy or sell into a buy-sell imbalance or into a pivot, which is simply a buy-sell imbalance on your trading chart. At all costs, the goal of this system is to sidestep losers. And I'm telling you, you're going to see enormous winners. Now, in general, when the system takes a trade, that trade really has legs. Now, it does a triple screen assessment of trend, and that's going to be the background color. Now, we've modified the background color to make it easier. So the slides are a little more complicated than the system really is. But now we're going to be trading at 820.40 Unorenco. I'm telling you, for automated purposes, Unorenco on futures is far better than time tick, range, or Renko. And the two higher multiple charts in which it's going to acquire all its data is the 21 range and the 34 range. Now, how we got those numbers is via the use of mathematical modeling, and you'll notice they're both fib numbers. And although Fibonacci has no value in determining areas of support and resistance, because Fibonacci never was looking to create areas that define market sentiment. I mean, I studied Fibonacci as an undergraduate and a graduate student. He was looking to define symmetries in nature. And one of the symmetries that we use is to define higher multiple charts when we're not trading a time-based trading chart. So our triple screen method of data analysis provides us with an amazing degree of specificity. In other words, we're only going to take a trade when the 21 and the 34 range are moving in the same direction, and we want to take a trade in that direction. So here's an example of a trade long when the 21 and the 34, both market structure and trend, are aligned to the upside. It's going to give us a really, really nice trade. When there's no background color, we are not going to trade. Now, we've eliminated these differing colors. The blue is gone, the bisque is gone, the cyan's gone. You're either going to see dark green or you're going to see dark pink. Dark green is that triple screen alignment to the upside. Dark pink is that 21-34 alignment to the downside. And the system is going to rigorously adhere to those parameters. Now, we also do a quadruple screen assessment of trend. It's called a C2 assessment. Now, it's on the chart, and the reason we coded it into the algorithm, now we do not have it engaged right now. In a high volatility, high volume market, we don't need the C2. When we get to a low volume, low volatility, choppy market, then we will engage it. And what the C2 does is bring in an additional time frame or a chart. Now with the C2, you need the 21, the 34, and the 50 range to align. It creates an environment where you need a tremendous amount of alignment on the higher multiple charts in order to allow the system to take a trade. Now, when trading gets tougher, we'll engage the C2, and that's part of the modification in all the parameters that we're going to do when you get upgraded templates. Now, here's the C2. It's this stair-stepping analysis. And that tells us that we've got the 21, 34, and 50 aligned to the downside. Now, right now, it is not kicked in, but I want you to know what it is so that if we send out an upgraded template as we move into the summer, like June, July, August, when volume falls off and all the fund managers go on vacation to Martha's Vineyard and Aspen, and we get a choppier market, and we change the algorithm, you'll know exactly what the C2 is, because we're going to let you know when we send you an updated template, which contains a set of upgraded inputs or modified inputs. You'll know exactly what it's looking for and why some trades that would have been taken without it are now required to take it. Now, the exponential oscillator is complicated. Now, here is the formula for an oscillator. Now, obviously, it's not a simple formula, but I personally have not found oscillators to be of significant value unless we're tracking momentum. And in this particular case, we're not looking to track momentum. So what we did was we took the oscillator and we raised it to the second power to create what we call an exponential oscillator. It moves extremely fast, and we don't use the overbought or oversold analysis on it. In fact, we've removed them. We use the midline, and that midline always puts us into the trade in a position that's very tight to mean, which is very tight to the 50-period simple, actually exponential moving average with exponential smoothing. So it gives us a terrific entry, but the entry signal has got to be validated by everything else we have on the chart. So here's the exponential oscillator right here. Now, every time it crosses the cyan line to the downside, you're going to get a down arrow. But obviously, you can't go short. Background bias is green. You have a multi-chart alignment to the upside. And when it crosses the cyan line to the upside, now this is with the C2 engaged, you're going to get this beautiful move to the upside. Now, the fact is, because this line stays green, you're going to be in this trade all the way up until it turns red here. But as an example, you could have also used this as an entry. You could also have taken this as an entry. In each case, the system has just crossed the cyan line, down, and then up, and in you go. But in real life, you're going to get in here, this 15 period exponential with exponential smoothing stays green, which means momentum on the trade has not changed. Just you got these two candle retracements. Now, these two candle pullbacks on a regular exponential would really knock it probably to almost a flat line. It hardly moves R15 EMA with exponential smoothing. And you're going to go all the way up, and then when it turns red, this block up here is going to go red and take you out of the trade. You're going to get yourself a monster winner. Now, I just wanted to show you a few entries, and then I'm going to show you the live charts. Really, when it comes to JPEGs, you and I both know I could show you anything I want, and what really matters is how is the system performing. Let's look at the last few days. I can't finagle that or change that. Now, here's an entry right here on this cross to the upside, goes down and then up right here. I scaled this myself. It is 49.5 points. Now, on all these signals, there's no background color, and so they are all irrelevant. Remember, the exponential oscillator's entry has to be validated by everything else we're looking at on the trade. Here, we get a long signal. There's no background color. The system stands down, and it's never going to take a short trade above the 50. It's also never going to take a short trade with this, with the C2 green. I mean, these short trades are all censored. Now, here's another trade. Crosses down just above. And there's the entry. Up you go. This is 32 2/3 points. These are all on the NQ. You're going to get out when this line turns red and momentum ends. Momentum wanes, big institutional money is gone. You're not going to get jockeyed out by this one candle retracement created by small retail traders, probably trading divergent signals, MACD, oscillator, whatever. We are staying in the trade because momentum is being pushed to the upside by big institutional money. Here's a 67-point move all the way to the upside, out on a change in color of the 15. And all these signals are just irrelevant, censored, not taken. Here's a move to the downside. Perfect trade. There's the cross. Down you go. And these are just irrelevant. You can change the size of the triangle if you like. Here they're a little bit bigger. These are huge moves. Now here's a 97.25 point move on the NASDAQ. Now I don't remember the day that I saw it. I mean, I went hunting for nice winners. And let me tell you, it was not that long ago. The only problem with it is it occurred in the middle of the night. But remember, you can leave the system running all day and all evening, as long as you have backup and your computer isn't going to go out on you. If you got a battery backup or a virtual private network, VPN, that won't leave these contracts just hanging. Should something really untoward occur, like lightning hits an electric pole and all the electricity goes out in your house, the electricity in your computer goes down, you can let it trade throughout the day. And so that is your entry, and it's a tremendous trade up. There's the cross to the downside, but you're out about right here. That's a 97-point move. Now here's an 88.75 point move. Now these are real trades. There's the entry right there. There's the oscillator cross to the downside, and down you go all the way to the downside. You're out on this green line. Oscillator crosses up, down, up, down. The reason these trades are, this trade, if it was taken, would have been a winner. You need 3 candles. This trade would have been too tight to the pivot, or this buy sell zone. That trade would have been censored to the downside. Here's 68.25 points to the upside. These are big, big trades. Up you go, then you have down, up, and then you have a move to the upside. These are all irrelevant trades. They are not taken by the system. You're right underneath a major area of resistance. Remember, I told you needed 21 ticks distance between the entry and the area of resistance. It's not going to trade long, and here you've got no background color. So before I even go to the results, now this is our back-tested results, where it made $12,000 on 2 contracts. I didn't even format the slide. Here's our forward testing. This is in February through March. It made $17,000 on 2 contracts. It did exceeding. This is how it's performing actually right now. Now this is Discord chat, which I'll go over in a minute. These are traders. We're going to put you in a Discord room where you can talk to everybody else. I want to show you the system. Now here's the system, and we're trading. This is the NASDAQ today. So we'll start on the right edge, and we're going to look at the entries. And this is really going to tell the tale. Now, no background color, nothing. Never going to trade. That's never going to get a signal here. Now, here's a miss by 1 lousy candle. It's a down trade. You don't have pink background, no entry. Obviously, with no background, no entry. Now, here's an entry right here. Just to give you an idea of the magnitude, I'm just going to take it. You're going to get it 1 tick below. It's going to take you out right here. when this line goes to yellow, this is going to be 4 points, 16 ticks, no big home run, but it's money in the bank. Here's another entry, and it's another winner. See this trade? No background color, no entry. And just to give you an idea of the size, you're going to get it in here. Not going to give you the maximum excursion. I'm going to show you where you actually would have been taken out. Right here on this yellow. This would have been 9 3/4 points. Just under 10 points on the NASDAQ. That's a nice move. So far, no losers. And I'm telling you, I haven't even had time to look at this. I don't know what. There's another winner right here going up. You get taken out right here on this red 15. That's going to give you 14 points. I'm not taking the high of the move, which you're never going to get. I'm taking where you're actually going to get taken out of the trade. Here, just a bunch of zilch because there's no background color. Now, this trade right here is a loser, and I'm not going to hide it. Yup, got one loser. Now, if I was to sit here and tell you that every trade you're going to take is a winner, you should zip up. Nothing, 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 nothing. Now, these two trades are both winners. You need 3 candles after the entry to get a winner. Entry 1, 2, 3. They're just going to be first target trades, and then it's going to hit your break even. No background color, no entry. No background color, no entry. No background color, no entry. Now, this is probably an entry because I think you have 8, 16, you have 24 ticks before you hit support. So this is going to take you out right here. Get 8.5 points. Obviously, there's no short here. Nothing, 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 nothing. Zilch. Nothing, nothing. Now, here's another loser. Right here. No background color, which is too bad. No background color, which is too bad. No background color, censoring a lot of winners. Now look at this trade to the downside. You've got plenty of room to support right here. Now this is going to take you all the way down, and it's going to take you out right here, and you get 34 3/4 points. Now on this one trade alone, you could close up for the day. Look at this entry right here. Now this is going to take you see how this line stays red on this 3 candle retracement? You've got to wait for that line to turn color. Your entry's right here. This is going to take you all the way down, and it's going to take you out on the green. And this is a 49 1/4 point move on the NASDAQ. So you got 49 points and 34 points. So You're about 85 points of profit on these two trades. We're still going. We hit a couple of losers, and I will never tell you the system trades flawlessly, because it's impossible for anything to trade flawlessly. But you had 84 points on two trades, and there's another trade. Now, this trade here is not going to take you out. You're going to stay in this trade. This down candle doesn't mean anything once you're triggered in and you see you've got the up triangle. As long as that line stays green, you stay in the trade. So it signals you in. You're going to stay in until this line turns red. And this is another 35.5 point trade. Just missed a big winner. No trade. We're trading here right into support. Right into support. No background color. Now this is a trade, potentially. You got 3 candles. That's a first target. It's no home run, but I think we already have 100 points on the market. I'm telling you, here's another winner right here. Again, it's going to take you all the way down and out here. I'm not going to scale it. Now this just missed about a 60-point move, but it's not going to fire because background color is not pink. It's clear. So it's right under the VWAP, which is the best place to trade. You get a short, but it doesn't fire because that background color is not pink. You can't cry over it, or you like to. And look at this long trade. Now you're out all the way back here. And here's another 37 points for you. Now we're getting towards the end of the session, but there's another winner right there. It's going to continue up and take you out right here. This is very tight to support. You see, you can't get a third candle without hitting the pivot. There's no trade here. There's no trade here. There's no trade here. There's no trade here. I mean, even the trades that are winning, I'm not counting unless obviously they work. Entry, easy winner. Entry, 3 candles. Now this would not fire because it's right into support. This would have fired and it would have kept you in the trade and taken you out here. And I just want you to get an idea. I know this may be getting a little monotonous, but here's your entry. It's just 1 tick above. And I'm just sort of, out right here. And it's 12 ticks. And I'll take a 12 tick trade. And now we're at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm telling you, I could go on and on and on like this. You have 2 losers, and those are going to give you about a 6 or 7 point loss. So you're going to lose about 14 points between the 2 losers. And in the course of the trading session today, you have well over 100 points of profit. I mean, even if you subtract out the 2 losers, you're still over 100 points of profit. And obviously, the auto does not trade flawlessly, There's no automated system that does, but if you can walk away with 100 points on a trading day, that's not bad. Now let me show you the template for the system, because it's very, very complex, but it allows us tremendous configurability. Now you'll notice the C2 is not engaged. Now, I may have taken the C2 off the chart simply because we're not using it. I did. So it's not even here. But let me open up the template and I'll show it to you. Hang on a minute. Here it is. Now here it is. Now it's got an enormous number of inputs. Now this is what we can change as market conditions alter. And this is going to change dramatically the way the system trades. Now, the C2 is not engaged. There are other things that I didn't show you that we can engage in a very, very choppy, low volume market, like the kind you get, into December, into Christmas and New Year's, or the kind you get into holidays. Because again, capital preservation is our #1 goal. And what we want to do is make sure the system doesn't get pulled into a loser. If it costs us some winners, we don't care. The bottom line is we'll take fewer winners if we can really minimize the number of losers. This has the whole ATM strategy. Remember, I told you it was 40 ticks maximum stop. First target was 20. Now we have it set for a first target of 150 tickets, second target of 150 ticks, which we have not engaged. So it'll go as far as the system will take it. So we modify this as market conditions change. And it comes right off of here. Show you where it is. Just right off of our control panel. There it is. So if we gave you a template, you look underneath where it says edit strategy. See where it says template? It's going to go up and you're going to load the template. Now, these are the templates we have, but you would get, say, NQ modified. You would just click on it and every single input in the system would potentially change. So it's really easy to modify this system. And you can see all the inputs that are present in it. Now, let me just close this down. If you have any other questions, I'll be more than happy to go back to it. Now, this is just from Discord chat. We're going to put you in the Discord chat so you can talk to everybody else who's on the auto. And everyone's always playing with the inputs and they're tweaking it and doing all kinds of things. And this person put in, this person made, it's really hard to see, $15,218 on the system. Here is, these are all, remember it's all NQ and MNQ, 595, 4,080, 3,100, 2,000. This is just out of Discord. Here's another set of parameters. And I told you the traders in there are tweaking it. So they're running 4 different NASDAQ strategies and seeing which one is doing the best. Here's more out of Discord. They're testing 1, 2, 3. Here they're doing it on sim, but they're seeing which one is going to run the best. So I believe that there's no more powerful self-directed auto available to the small retail trader than this. Now, as I've said, you're going to get the ability to trade on it. We want to give you the ability, and we're not going to do this very often, and I really mean that, but we're going to give you the ability to also trade with me on a discretionary basis. Now, last week we made $3,200 after commissions. I took a small drawdown today. I am not going to lie to you. And I have red days because I don't walk on water. And I missed a huge short trade today. That would have finished me off with over $1,000. And I'm telling you, I stared at that entry and I just had some kind of central nervous system shutdown because it was such a gimme trade. It was pathetic. If I show it to you, you would make you as sick as it makes me. But trading success does equal financial freedom. Now you can trade on a discretionary basis and the auto at the same time, off the same account, off the same data feed. As long as you understand that occasionally we in the room will take the same trade that the auto trader takes. And if you have the margin, you will be in both trades at the same time. Now, this really is going to minimize the chances that you're going to wind up being an unsuccessful trader. And it's really going to take a lot of burden away from you. Now, I left the picture in. Well, I'll show you the picture in a minute. Now, you can do nothing and continue on your current path. I'm telling you, this is an offer I'm not sure we'll make again. And I'm not really a marketer. I mean, it's not my nature. I mean, I spent 4 years, and I was also a professor at Thomas Jefferson University, and I really intended to make academics my career. But just because of my own personal issues that had to do with taking care of my son, I had to come down to Florida to take care of him, and I had to resign my position at Jefferson. But you can take action today and join the thousands of other traders who work a few hours a week from home, no boss. And remember, this system will trade for you 24/7. And I want to show you a very unique parameter on the system that is really, really protective of your money. Let me bring it over one more time, because I don't think you'll ever see this kind of calling on any system again. Let me bring it over here. Here it is. Now, what you can do is program in. Let's say that you're happy with, first of all, it's got a volume threshold. If the NASDAQ isn't crossing 400 contracts per minute, like if it tries to take a trade in the middle of the night on 8 contracts per minute, the system will shut down, will not allow the trade to evolve, because obviously that kind of volume is just, you're just cruising for a bruising. One person doesn't come in and, and give the market a real shot and change its direction. The other is that you're going to set a profit target and a loss limit. So let's say I'm trying to find the input for it. Of course, when I look for it, I never can. I think it's more towards the top. But this is how you protect your capital, even if you're not at the computer. Right here, let's say you want to make $1,300 a day off the system. You're happy with that. Maybe you're trading 2 contracts. You can even trade 1 on this system. Maybe you're trading 3. You can set this at whatever number you want. And when it's hit, the system will shut down. And let's just say it's a particularly rugged day and you only want to lose $700. The system loses $700, it shuts down. Now, my recommendation is always to make this 2-to-1. So it's going to shut down to the upside on twice the amount of money that it would shut down to the downside. So even if it made money half the time, you're going to wind up making it a lot more on a winning day than you did on a losing day. So it's going to guard your capital based on your profit and based on your loss limit, and also based on the fact that it is not going to trade in a low volume environment. Let me just move that over here. Now, you're going to get unlimited VIP support. I mean, we're going to configure the whole system for you, and we're going to do a lot more than that, actually, because you're going to wind up coming aboard with a lot of software. We're always here. I'm always here. Rory's always here. We have 2 other people involved in trading here. Sergio has a master's degree in computer programming. And let me tell you, there's nobody smarter or more brilliant than him when it comes to coding. You feel that your automated system is not working exactly the way it should, he will go in there and he will check every number and check the algorithm, make sure that everything is correct. He'll reload your template. He'll do anything that you need. You need a one-on-one session with me, I will give it to you. They're only going to make 10 systems available. There were about 290 traders in the room. And the reason we're doing that is just to make sure that we don't get slippage on the entry. That's all. If the entry remains intact, we'll make more available in the future, but we're going to do them in tiny amounts because I don't want to compromise anybody's profit by starting to get 2 and 3 ticks of slippage on the entry. And remember, every one of the systems is going to be triggered in at the exact same price level. So I don't know if there's going to be anyone out there trading 20 or 30 or 40 contracts. So we'll see how the system performs. And if its entry degrades at all, we'll hold this number. Now, here's what you're going to get. Now, it's $17.97 lifetime. You're never going to pay us another dime for all the upgrades and all the add-ons. And what we're going to include, and this is the rare inclusion, is we're going to include the full software suite. And I'll show you the full software so that you can trade with me every morning on a discretionary basis while the auto trader is trading on its own. Now, where did the charts go? Hang on. Here's one. Here's the other. And look at this NASDAQ trade to the upside. Right here on this pullback. I mean, this is an amazing trade to the upside. Just stellar. Now, obviously, it's got a lot more in it. It's a slightly different system than the one that we trade off the auto. We've tried this system for a year. It just doesn't work on an automated basis. It needs the human brain to help it. But we trade with the C2, and you're going to be able to take all my trades. And this is normally $3,000. When we mark it down, it's also $17.99. So you're getting a great deal. Here's another C2 stellar trade on a break of this zone and this move up. Again, we're going to trade off this 15, still green. It's going to turn, I don't know where it turns, because it's kind of right around here somewhere. It's a huge move up. This is at 14:21, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I closed the trading room. Maybe you're out right around here. I see red. Here's a 22-point trade. I mean, the system gives you unbelievable trades, and we will give you all the educational support you need to take to trade it. So it's a lot at one time, but hopefully it will be the last system that you ever need, and it's going to make you a very, very successful trader. Now, I'm going to answer any questions that there are. And now, I'm going to answer any questions that there are. Now, but if above and beyond that, you want to talk to Sergio, and you want to lock that in and get in and be one of those first 10, because we're not going to sell 11. I'm telling you that. Put your name and number in the chat, or your name and Skype in the chat, and Rory will start to call you very shortly and give you the opportunity to come aboard. Obviously, you're not obligated to do anything. And, you know, we may wind up, we may wind up by mistake selling 11, but I'm telling you, that 10 is our target, and we're not going to go more than that. I showed you how the system did today, and basically today is a good proxy for almost every day. Today was a very tough day to trade. And in the last 11 sessions, I have had greens, very big green sessions. Today I missed a trade for God knows what reason, but which would have taken us out. But you know, that's part of trading, and that's human error. And the system wound up to make really, really nice money. So let me see if there are any questions. I will be more than happy. I really appreciate everyone who was so kind, and as we waited through this issue with the sound. I used to have a picture of me and my son up there because I'm not a single dad. I'm a solo dad, and I raised the boy by myself, and really that's the reason I had to come to South Florida and give up my academic position at Jefferson, which really was very gut-wrenching, but he's a wonderful boy. Now I'm going all the way to the top here because there are a lot of questions. Okay, here we go. Hey, William, how are you? Hey, Ron. This is different, Ron. It's really completely different. But if you call Rory, he'll discuss it with you on that. Don't worry about that. Hey, Herman. Nice to see you. We have not, Herman. It's not been sent out yet, but it's going out. You guys will. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay? Listen, don't worry about the updated templates and everything. They're going out. They're going out. Don't worry about that. Now, this runs on NinjaTrader 8. Unfortunately, it's the only platform that we could configure it on. Thinkorswim, we have a primary platform on Thinkorswim. If you want your software on Thinkorswim, we can put it there for you. But the auto trader component has got to go on NinjaTrader 8. And I'm telling you, it's worth it to open up an account with them, because if you want to trade futures, we don't have any special financial relationship with them, but we have a broker we give a lot of business to, and he will give you the cheapest round trips you will ever find. You won't find them cheaper anywhere. And that matters at the end of a month and at the end of a year. It starts to add up. Mitchell, it has the best trail feature. I showed it to you. It's based on momentum. Now, remember I showed you on the NQ, you have a 20 tick first target. That's 3 candle bodies after the entry. That guarantees you the 20 ticks. In fact, 3 candle bodies is 23 ticks. It will hit your first target. You're going to get filled, and then your stop will go to break even. Once you hit 20, you're in the trade at no risk. At whatever's remaining. Now, you can configure this however you like, but the way I recommend, I have a personal strategy based on math. Let's say you're trading 3 contracts. You want to drop your anchor contract at the first target. So you drop it, it gets hit, and you're in the trade at no risk. And you let your 2 contracts, you try to take them 25 points or 30 points. That's where you're going to wind up making great money. No target, it's going to go until momentum turns. When momentum turns, it takes you out of the trade. That's how everything works, and it's all automated. System is going to do that on its own. You get a 20 tick trade in a fill, you're closed, first target's at break even, and you're in the trade at no risk. So we're looking for capital preservation. And then if you get a nice runner, you're off to the races on it. Hey, David. You know, David, I listen, maybe it wasn't a loser. Well, you know what? Listen, I was just doing my best. David was pointing out that one of the trades I put in as a loser was a winner, but you know, it really doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, the amount of points you made today off of this system was just absolutely off the charts. I mean, you made over 100 points. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have gotten 100. I mean, I'm going to set a profit target, you know, that's reasonable, maybe 1,500, maybe 1,700. And when it hits that, I'm going to let the system shut down. Hey, Bala, could you kindly show an example of how your tool can be used in trading equities? Well, let me show you. If your interest is trading equities, I would recommend our Thinkorswim version on the non-automated component. Now you can trade stocks on this system. There is no problem with it. But if stocks and options, now remember, we have a full-time stock and options trader, and his trading room runs all day. And he is unbelievable. I'm not kidding you. The guy's got about a 90% win rate. He day trades options, but obviously he has to pick a stock. But I would recommend this version of our platform because you're going to get much better commissions if you trade stocks on a non-automated version of this platform. Just wait for it to load on this. This is, I consider, this is really our premier stocks for stocks. Now I'm not going to go, obviously I'm not going to go into all of the methodology, but what I have up there now is Fortnet, and let me see what it's doing today. I mean, it took a real pasting today. It was down about, now I have Fortnet short, and you can see it's recovered. I don't take many trades short. I don't know where Fortnet is today, but Fortnet is in a brutal downtrend. I only have it on a 20-day, 5-minute. We change the time frame, you'd see it's in a great downtrend, and you'd see right here, this is a terrific short trade right here on a day trading basis right here. But I don't want to go over our methodology here, but that's our best platform for trading equities. And this is all discretionary. You'd be in the room with David, and David's going to call out all the trades for you. And this is going to come with the auto. That's just our Thinkorswim version, and that's the way I would manage that. And you're going to be in very good hands. He's absolutely stellar. My pleasure, Ron. Can I show the E-mini? Sure. I have no problem with that. Hold on. Here's the E-mini. Now there were great trades on the E-mini this morning. I mean, like, look at this trade on the E-mini this morning. Now you have to break this area of resistance, but see this pullback with the C2? There's your entry. Now this is discretionary. It is not automated. You're in one tick above. You're going to go all the way up. See this green line? It goes to yellow right here. And that's a 9.5 point trade. And if we keep going, now that's a potential trade, but it's a little risky, and I only want to show you The really nice trades right here, that's a first target. Right here, that's a first target and then some. You don't break support. That line never stops. Now here is a potential loser right here. Nothing here. I'm only looking for C2 trades. I mean, I saw this trade evolve. You just couldn't get it. And there's just nothing here. Because I trade the E-mini, and I'm looking for an E-mini trade. Right into resistance, it holds. Right into support, it holds. The trend line's up here. I didn't really discuss our methodology. We do have one potential loser. You could have taken that up for a first target. It's a huge number. I only want to give you what I want. Look at this trade to the downside. This is just a stellar, huge trade. So maybe you lose a few ticks on that one loss, but my God, the winners here are going to give you a cramp. Now it's gonna take you out right here on this yellow, and that's, yeah, I thought it was more. It's only 3 3/4 points. It looked bigger, but this is a 2 uni, and you can't get this trade short. I'd like to tell you you could, but you can't. And see, you're trading into the lower day. Just can't take that trade. And here's your next trade right here on the break. And this is a really nice trade short. So you have multiple winners and maybe one potential loser. We're going in here till 2 o'clock. I mean, the platform on the E-mini is really stellar. That's why I have it up. My primary is my E-mini and my NASDAQ. And if you have a little bit of patience, and I'm in the room calling the trades, if you have patience and discipline, you should really do really well on those markets. Now, we usually turn the NASDAQ into a cash machine. Today it was a little bit of a buzz saw, and I don't want to draw this out, but I'll just show you something right here. This is not auto trading information. I'll hang on a second. Right here. This was a gimme short trade right here on the NASDAQ. And this trade would have taken us from the entry right here all the way down. This does not change the 15. It would have taken us all the way, let's just say into here. That would have been a 43-point trade, and I just sat there and stared at it like I had some kind of neurological paralysis. That 43 points would have taken us out of the morning easily with $1,500 to $2,000. And I just sat there and stared at that trade. So that's the trade that I've been bitching about. Rarely will I make a miss like that, but that's one that I did. Now, trading throughout the same time is the auto trader. They're both lifetime purchases. You're never going to pay us another dime. We upgrade the software, we upgrade the auto, and the auto upgrades are going to be very, very frequent. Every time market conditions change, the automated system's algorithm will change. We want to maintain its equity curve very strong to the upside. Ron, it will go out. Actually, Sergio will configure it and we'll go out tomorrow morning. Okay. Hey, Antonio. Listen, the system is optimized on the auto for futures. Now, I trade futures in my room, but if you want to trade stocks and options on a discretionary basis, and this is the only time we're going to allow you to do this, we're also going to give you our non-auto trader platform, which I just showed you. So you can trade whatever you want. If you want to trade futures, I recommend NinjaTrader 8. If you want to trade stocks, you can use Thinkorswim. It works on Interactive Brokers. It works on eSignal, Awanda, a whole bunch of platforms. If you're not in the United States, the only two major platforms that we don't work on are TradeStation and MetaTrader, which I've always had people ask us. We're working on it. We're trying to move it, but you can see it's a very complex system. We've now added an auto trader component, and but the auto trader is only going to be working on one market. We're going to start optimizing it for a second for number two, but it is the thing that Sergio and I keep asking ourselves is if it continues to pull out this kind of profit off of one market, I mean, how eager should we be to add a second? And I'm not so sure about that. But we're always going to keep that system up and functioning. You can trade whatever you like. Did Sergio have to do a bit of recoding? A ton of recoding, Colin. I mean, if you saw that, I mean, we never used that exponential oscillator. We haven't used it in a long time to trigger an automated trade. And it was really Sergio's idea to pull it up. And the entries that it provides us with, as long as they're verified on our triple screen or our quadruple screen, are just stellar. And the way that it's configured, those entries, if you'll notice, are all very tight to the 50. So the system never chases a trade. Like, it's never going to take a trade that's 20, let's say 11 points off the 50, because you're never going to get an oscillator entry there. That midpoint cross of the oscillator is going to be when price is very, very tight to the 50. And you need its confirmation, and the system will just take the trade. And then it's going to trail it off the 15 for you. Protect your profit at first target, and you're in the trade at no risk. Hey, David, is this an addition to the current? Yes, this is the automated system. If you don't have a version, is an addition. I mean, let me tell you, if you have any idea how much time Sergio spent on this thing, I mean, it's just unbelievable, really. I mean, if when I showed you its guts, and I mean, very few systems allow you to open them up like this. I mean, that's just a piece of the coding. I mean, the backbone of the system is not modifiable. This is the part of the system that is modifiable. And look at all these inputs. So this took an enormous effort, and everything is modified in it. Sure, Joseph, we're gonna be running it in the live trading room every day. Sure. Actually, Heinz, I'll have Rory check this transcript, Heinz. In order to get into Discord, there's no Discord link. We have to send you one, and then we have to confirm your credentials, and we will confirm you to go into the Discord, Heinz. Hey, Hedor. The automated is only on Ninja. The discretionary can be on Ninja or Thinkorswim or Interactive Brokers or eSignal or eTrade or Awanda. So there's multiple platforms for the discretionary component. For the automated system, it's only Ninja. And the way it's been trading, I mean, I recommend opening up account, but that's totally up to you. It's your call. I'm not sure what you mean, Joseph, but did Auto Trader pick it up? Remember, the Auto Trader is configured a lot differently than the discretionary trading, Joseph. The Auto Trader if you saw all the winners I showed you, A lot of those winners just didn't set up on what we're trading. It's just configured a slightly different way. Although I'm telling you, I'm looking to almost, well, what we're looking to do in the future, I mean, but right now, they're slightly different systems. Hey, David, is this used in the class with Chris? I'm not sure what you mean by that, David. I just, I'm not sure. Is this used in the class with Chris? I just don't know, David. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean. Because I mean, we really don't have an affiliation with a Chris, with a Christopher. We do with Craig, and he'll be in the live training room tomorrow. But not with Chris. At least to start. No, we provide recommended settings for everything, David. When you get the system, every setting and every input are fixed already. And we give you our recommended settings from A to Z. Now you go into Discord and you can play with them. I don't recommend it, but at least you're going to get the input of some very smart people in there. But we give you all the inputs, the ones that I've optimized, and the one that Sergio's back tested and forward tested. Hey, Jennifer, how many targets can be set, Jennifer? Right now we only have it set for a first target, then a runner. If you want to set 2 targets, I think Sergio can work that out for you. There's nothing wrong with that either, by the way. Taking a first target at 20, a second target at 40, and then letting it run. So if you want to do that, I can talk to Sergio about that. If you come aboard, I'll tell them to make that a priority. And he's very quick, and that is not tough. So if you want to set a second target, you can do that. And that's a great question, by the way. Because if you want to scale out 1, 2, 3, let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. Right now, David, it's only NQ, MNQ. But you know what? I mean, if you could, I mean, I showed you 100 points, and I swear to you, I've been working all day on the slides on this deck. I mean, if it would have showed 15 losers, it would have showed 15 losers. I mean, I saw what it did in the morning, but I closed the room at 11:30. From 11:30 till 4 o'clock, I didn't have a clue what the system did. So listen, if you can make 100 points, and I know that intellectually, it's just not that pleasing to be locked into one market. But if that market could give you 50 to 60 points a day, why do you need another one? Now we're still going to be working on an additional one because we don't ever just kind of rest, and we're going to be giving out additional markets, and you will get those for free. So we are not going to sit. But right now, the reason we're launching it is because it's creating loot, and that's what we want. Your support is excellent. Thanks for that, and I appreciate that, Ron. I mean, we're really here to really to help the traders and to help you guys. I mean, hey Peter, thank you for your name and number. Rory will call you. Edwin, thank you for your name and number. We'll save it for you. We'll lock it in for you. Hey, Sally, if I own the original auto, yes, Sally, you do. Just call Rory and he will give it to you. Okay. David, thank you for your name and number. Hey, Hector, Mark, Terry, thank you for your name and number. It does work on Thinkorswim Essential. I just showed you. Now, not the auto component. The auto component is on only NinjaTrader 8. How much do you need to open a Thinkorswim account for futures, and how much is enough to auto trade? Listen, to auto trade the micros, James, you can auto trade them with $1,500. I mean, the micros are super cheap. Now, remember, I'm just, listen, this is to open up a Thinkorswim account, you can open it up with $100. I mean, just to open the account, get the live data feed, get approved for for options trading, and also, and make sure you get approved for spreads. Because if you do want to if you do want to trade with David from 9:30 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he does a little bit of spread trading. Make sure you get approved for everything. So after you open the account, and you can open it up, I don't know, even with 50 bucks, I think. Get all the paperwork set up, get approved for everything you need to get approved, and then you're up and running. Now that can be your discretionary platform, but you're going to have the auto on NinjaTrader. Hey Bob, thank you for your name. Tony, thank you for your name and number. Yes, they do, Ron. You know that's our policy. I bought the money flow tracker on Compass about a month ago. Absolutely, Mike, you get a discount for that. Most definitely. Hey Mariano, congrats on the update to the algo. I'm a lifetime member from 220. Yep, Mariano. What should we have for account size for running the auto? It all depends. If you want, listen, remember, Robert, you can trade the micros on the auto, or you can trade the full contracts on the auto. You want to trade 2 micros on the auto? I mean, 1,500 is more than enough. You want to trade 3 full contracts? I'd recommend $3,000 or $4,000. All depends on what you want to trade, really. I mean, I have $5,000 in the account to trade 3 full contracts. But if you trade the micro I would recommend to start with the micros, get a good feel for the system, see how it performs, and then maybe you can move to the full. But you can start. We have a lot of traders who just always, out of the 500 traders in my live trading room, a lot of them just trade micros. They're older, they're on a fixed income. Plus, I'll tell you, I've got more traders in there for my son. My son is a junior in college. You have no idea. First of all, I got all 3 of his roommates in there trading. And, they tell their friends, and they're all trading micros. And I've got like a little university contingent of traders. And I'm telling you the truth, they give me wonderful feedback. And I really love to help out traders. And my son's, my son lives with 3 guys, and and these guys are not rich. Let me tell you, they're all on really tight budgets, and just college students, and they all trade the micros. Hey, Michael. Okay, Michael, we will give you a call. Hey, Hector. What if we have the auto already? Is there an upgrade? Yes, Hector. Hey, Heinz. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Okay, Michael. Hey, Ed. Well, don't worry about it, Ed, because we're gonna take care of that. Hey, Mark. This runs on NinjaTrader. Sergio is setting me up tomorrow, so you're pretty far behind. No, you're not. I mean, Sergio will go through everything with you. Don't worry about it. I mean, Sergio's a little bit behind because he had a medical problem. It is not my place to discuss it, but he's fine. He's here, and he will help you out and get you all up to speed tomorrow, Mark. Don't worry about that. Hey, Joseph, thank you for your name and number. I mean, we got a lot of names and numbers, and you guys have all locked it in if you want it. So, and I know I can't see you purchase, but we're probably going to sell more than 10. But if we do, we're not going to make this offer again for quite some time. You own this offer, but I'm interested in the auto. I don't know, Rob. You have to call Rory. Rory really will give you. We'll talk to you. That's our number, and I just don't know. I really don't. Rory's got that all on his desk. I'm being serious with you. How how big of an account do you recommend for NinjaTrader? Again, Mark, it all depends what your goal is. Do you want to trade the micros? You want to trade the full contract? Do you want to trade in the room with me if I trade crude or gold? You know, on Wednesdays, we trade crude inventory, but you can trade micro crude. You don't have to trade the full contract. You know, you can start with as little as $1,500 if you trade the micros. You want to go to the full contract, I recommend about 4,000. That's all. Start with 2 micro contracts. Hopefully you can make 400 to 500 a week on very, very little risk, even 300. It's equivalent to $3,000 on the full contract on minuscule risk. And then you can take it up from there. So I would start with small risk, just moderate reward. And I think that's the best way to go. Monthly for the trading room, it's $249 a month, Mark. And that's only for one room. So this is, this is a really good deal because of course, for 2 months, you get both rooms, both the options room and my room. So, but for $249, we'll give you both rooms. But that's what the standard fee is. We got your information, Jeff. Thank you. You ever open any more openings? I don't know, Ray. It all depends on the number. I promised you if you put your name and number in, we're going to make you. You would lock it in. I have to see how many people purchase. If it's over 10, it could be 6 months, and I kid you not. As long as the integrity of the entry is maintained. Right now we get minimal slippage because the NASDAQ has great liquidity. And as long as it stays that way, we're okay. I'm just concerned when we move into the holiday about the low volume, low volatility environments. I don't want everyone to start getting 6 and 7 ticks of slippage because the system is not, obviously not going to take that into account. Can you trade multiple markets at the same time? Absolutely, Keith. You can on the auto, but if you trade with me, I'm looking at 6 markets. I'm looking at the NASDAQ, the E-mini, the Russell, crude, gold. Every now and then, if I can get a trade on bonds, this system is awesome on bonds. And you know what? And that may be the next system that we automate, because I love this system on bonds. Bonds and notes, it trades terrific. You have the patience for it. 31.25 a tick on bonds. You can trade multiple markets. Because the auto is a fixed algorithm. We're gonna change its inputs, but it is locked on the NQ right now, and we will ultimately move it. But let me tell you, if it keeps hitting 50 to 60 points a day, I'm not sure that it would serve anyone's purpose. I certainly wouldn't change if I was given another market. Can this be used for options trading? Michael, options, David Weiss runs our options trading room all day. Plus, we're in 17 swing trade positions. And I'm not joking you, Michael. We are killing it in options. Today, we closed out Zim for 110%. Now, I just set that as a profit target because I'm just always very, when I get in, I send out a profit target to everyone. But we closed, I'll tell you the name, a Zim integrated shipping. We closed it out at 110%. And we've just got terrific positions. And I have steered very, very clear of tech because I don't trust it right now. We just got into the 3M company, Baker Hughes. I have Fortinet short, all off the system, and they're all working, and we're all making good money. And I will teach you how to swing trade off the system. It is not hard. My positions last from 3 weeks to 6 weeks usually, but I have a couple of positions like FCX. I believe we're going to be in a bull market in copper for quite some time. I have that position out. But I call myself a naked trader. You know, listen, I can trade a butterfly, I can trade an iron condor, but but I'm directional. I like to trade a position where I believe it's going to make a nice bull run or a nice bear run. I don't like these non-directional spreads. So I like to be a naked trader, and a naked trader is I like to buy calls and I like to buy puts. I don't have to. I obviously on Fortinet, I traded a spread because it's too expensive for me and for most traders to just buy a put. But in general, that's what I'm looking to do. Man, the leverage on a call is just amazing. And and I don't want to diverge from this, but that's called asymmetric profit. When you just buy a slightly out of the money call, you can put down $100 for the position and you can make 200, 300, 400. That's asymmetric profit. And that's the kind of profit that just being a naked trader gives you. And that's what I'm looking to do. I don't buy at the monies. I don't buy in the monies. I buy slightly out of the monies. So they're chintzy, because I believe whatever I'm going to buy is going to make a nice bull run. And I only take every entry I take is off the system. And as part of the educational stuff we're going to go through after trading, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Hey, Ray. Okie dokie. Hey, Chris. Well, Chris, the 100 points, how much it equates to, all depends upon how much money what you were trading. If you traded 2 contracts, it amounted to about $7,000 in profit on 2 contracts. We got your number. Okay, we've got a lot of numbers. The position in Fortinet was up $5 today, still in the hole. Hey, listen, Mark, I don't win 100% of my options trades, and I'm a little bit concerned that the market's at an inflection point. But I'm telling you, I never saw a stock more ready to tip over and fall like a dominoes than Fortinet. But I'm not going to give Fortinet much room. I just took the position on Friday. It ran us over. It's coming back. If we get one hard NASDAQ day down, I might close the position maybe with 25 or 30% profit. That's all. We've done good with our shorts. My IBM short made 90%. If the max profit or max loss is hit for the day, no, it will not. Yes. The next day when you open it, Richard, it will be all reset. So you don't have to do anything. You just turn it on and let it trade. So that's all you have to do. You don't have to keep going in there and changing it. It will be at 0. It will have zeroed out. Hey, Bob. No, you don't, Bob. The 15 does an intra-candle assessment. So it's the only thing that we ever do on an intra-candle move. The system will close you out, even intra-candle, when that 15 turns, if you're on a long trade, from green to yellow. You're going to hear stop filled and you're out. It's not going to wait for the candle to close. We purposely did it that way. We could do the 15 on a candle close, but I believe that you will give back less if it takes an intra-candle exit. Remember, it's the 3rd candle back. You can always set it differently. You want to set it to do an intra-candle, candle close assessment. It will only turn it will wait till the candle closes, but we have it set so that it will close in intra-candle, Bob. So I really was doing it right. Okay, hey, Ron, my pleasure, my pleasure. Yeah, yes.
That's 7.
Okay, Rory said we got 7. So, what?
3 left.
3 left, okay. So, I mean, if you got your name and number in, it's the only thing that's gonna lock it in for you. Yes, that is the compass system that I just showed you, Michael, for stocks and options. That's exactly what it is. And we're just throwing that in. And I'm telling you, that's a one-time. And it will work on crypto. So we're in 5 cryptos. Hey, Michael. If you come in on this offer, additional markets, there's nothing. You will get all those additional markets for free. If you come in on the subscription-based model, which is going to be the next webinar, every market will cost you. I don't know exactly how much. It takes us so much time to do a market. It may be a $9.99 a market. But if we do another market now, you're going to get that market. You can absolutely watch a replay market, not a problem. Hey, Peter, any discount for having, you know, Peter, we always, you know, I'll tell you that we always give a military discount because we are very, very, in all sincerity, very, I don't know, you know, honored that you, in all seriousness, I'm not, you know, I'm not patronizing you, that you, you know, were in the military and you know, help provide me with the ability to be free. So yes, we will give you a military discount. You have to call Rory, and Rory will do it, and it's a good discount. I'll tell you right now. I don't mind saying that out loud. And again, you know, and I really do thank you for your service. Does the Auto Trader noticeably shut down? No, the Auto Trader doesn't shut down NinjaTrader 8. It just shuts itself down. It doesn't have the ability to shut down the platform. Only you do. So if you're trading on a discretionary basis and the automated system hits your profit target, you will just never hear it take another trade, which is a great sign. Now it could also have hit your loss limit, so you should check it. But you can have it running on the side. Remember, you don't have to watch the chart. So all you have to do is take the chart, put it off to the side like this. And what you can do is you can open up Chart Trader and it'll show you the P&L that's being driven on the system. And you can watch it evolve. So you know, if you set it for $1,000 and you see it hit 1,000 and it goes quiet, you're in great shape. Oh, Craig, yes. Well, Craig, yes. Craig is Tuesday and Thursday, David, and Craig's going to really, you know, is a really good trader. No. This is really just this is a very unique system, Chris. It is coded on NinjaTrader 8, but it is as far away from the compass system as you can get. In fact, it doesn't even work on Thinkorswim. So no, this is really a completely different program. I mean, we have 2 flagship software systems, you know, our money flow tracker and our compass, money flow tracker NinjaTrader 8, our compass on Thinkorswim. This is totally unique from all of them. We do not use the exponential oscillator on either of those systems. Thank you for your number, Peter. Listen, Joel, the MNQ and NQ are going to give you exactly the same. The price on each of them must be identical. I mean, they can't be different. And the MNQ, let me tell you, is very advantageous to trade. Do you know that it's trading almost twice the volume of the NQ? And I'm telling you, a lot of big traders are finding it more advantageous to trade the micros, like 20 micros, than they are trading 2 full contracts because of their ability to scale more. So I'm telling you right now that we just tested it on the regular NQ, but it's going to give you identical MNQ results. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chad, thank you for your number. There's always a recording, Ed, yes. Again, Mark, I know you've asked this, and before I answered it, like I said, you can use it as little as 1,500 if you trade 2 micros, as much as 3,000 or 4,000 if you want to trade 2 or 3 full contracts. So it's really up to you. You can start trading it with a very small amount of money. Thank you, James, for your name and number. Keith, thank you for your name and number. Robert, thank you for your name and number. Thank you, Kay. I mean, I like to think we have really great customer service, and I appreciate that. We're always here for you guys, always. I also own, Robert, just call Rory. He'll take care of you. Hey, Kay. Oh, thank you so much, Kay. And Kay said, very honest. And listen, when I have a bad day, and today was, a little bit of a hematoma on my head, I always show it. And I never make myself out to be a guy that walks on water. I showed you that big trade that I missed that would have closed us out. But I know that tomorrow I'll come back and I'll make it up. I'm very confident. But I appreciate that, Kay. I really do. Joel, thank you for your name and number. Chad, thank you for your name and number. Rob, just call Rory. Please do. Thank you, Ray. Got your name and number. Will system reset? Yes, it'll reset. Richard, when you close it, reopen it, it's a new day. Your loss limit and profit target will be at 0. I mean, they'll be set where you put them. No inputs change, but you're going to be trading a new day. Hey, Robert. Yes, Robert, you have to call us for that, but there is. Alaska. Okay. Okay, my pleasure, Ken. Okay, looking forward to it, David. Okay, a few years ago, but never traded futures. We'll need to get in touch with them and get the account set up. Our pleasure to have you, David. I got your name and number. You're locked in. It's always saved. We're going to send out a copy to everybody. Is your options alert different than the Compass options room? Yes, Ron. The room and the option, what David calls in the Compass in the trading room, those trades for 85 to 90% of those trades last a few hours, and maybe about 1 in 10 will last overnight. My trades will usually last 3 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. Like my trade on FCX is 4 months. Now we're up a lot on it, but I believe we're going to have a bull run on copper like you have no idea. Now I have a naked call position, and in fact, I have a lot of naked calls on FCX. So we're going to leverage it up. Now, the one thing about my options is I always set a first target. So everyone's going to get out. I have my Thinkorswim set for the first target I send out. You take out half your contracts at my recommended first target, which will be right below the first area of resistance. And then we're going to move our stop to break even on the option. And then we're going to look for a long runner. On the VIX, we made 185% on that trade. And now, not every one of my trades work, but we are really making a lot of loot. And I kid you not. It's for demonstration, educational purposes only, but I'm calling very, very successful educational trades, let me tell you. And I take them all myself. We just had one really, I just didn't give it enough time. And it was a very speculative position. I'm not going to go into it, but it was ADES, and it just didn't move. Yeah, with David. So he's going to give you day trades. I can't give you that, Central. I'd have to look. The less volatile ES seems perfect for the auto trade. Robert, we're going to work on it. I'm telling you, we're going to other markets. So believe me, I mean, you're going to get it. We never sit still. Believe me. We're kinetic in motion. Steve, thank you. Appreciate it. It'll be sent out tomorrow, Ed. Sergio's got it all ready to go. Webinar's recorded, Jack. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for your name and number. Bob, thank you for your name and number. Sutter, James, thank you for your name and number. Excuse me for using your last name. I'm sorry. Okay, I really got to run. Chris, thank you for your name and number. Rob, thank you for your name and number. You ever override the auto? Michael, you can override the auto if you want. I don't recommend that you do. In fact, I don't even recommend you look at it. I mean, if you try to override it and overthink it, that's the whole purpose of it. Let it do its job. I just want you to know that you can always override it. I mean, you can always close a trade. Remember, if you have, I'm not going to show it again, but if you have Chart Trader open, you can always hit the close button, exit the trade. You can always override the auto. You are ultimately in control of the system. So, if a trade smells bad to you, you can always take it out. I wouldn't recommend it though. Let it be, as the Beatles said, right, Michael? Right, Mitchell? Well, listen, thank you so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be trading with me every morning. You'll be trading with if you want to day trade options, you'll be with David, and you are in good hands. Craig is a terrific trader. Craig made over $1,000 today in the trading room, trading a live account. He made about 1,050, and he took that trade that I had paralysis on, and he made over $1,000 on that trade. So he's a terrific trader, and on Wednesday we'll do a very, very long session, and I'll do a lot of teaching. Last week I did, I don't know, about 4 to 5 hours of teaching. So listen, everyone, have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and I really appreciate it. For those of you who come aboard, I look forward to trading with you, and we are gonna watch that auto trader like a hawk in the trading room together. It should do wonderful. Everyone have a really, really great evening, and I really appreciate your time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.